Let's go to a Miami question here. Uh, Nick is asking who's going to be in the running for RB1.
That's a great conversation. I mean, you got, of course, Chaney and Knighton, okay, guys who have been at Miami for a bit, both coming off injury. Okay, then we have Parrish from Ole Miss, who kind of ran things in the spring for a little bit there. So I think it's a three-headed monster between those three because you also had, and then you got big Don Franklin. So I mean, at the end of the day, you got Franklin, massive player. I mean, handled a lot. I mean, he fits more of what the old um, Coach Cristobal would really want as far as a power eye dude that could get away from you a little bit. I also think Chaney falls into that because Chaney has some breakaway speed, but he is also durable and built from the waist down and really reshaped his body. I don't know if many people have seen pictures of Donald Chaney Jr., but he looks, man, he looks like he's been in the weight room, getting rid of that baby fat that was on him for a little bit there. And of course, you got the home run hitters and Parrish and Rooster. So I believe it'll be between those four guys. And with the departure of Cody Brown to Virginia, I believe we also had another player from our Larry Hodges Jr., the tight end slash H back who just signed with Middle Tennessee State yesterday. So we've had some departures out of the halfback, fullback, H back kind of room recently, and with those big four being out in front, plus we got some recruits coming in. We got some nice big 4-star and 5-star recruits coming in over the next couple of years in South Florida, period, at the running back position. So it stands to reason that Miami is going to have to really show what we can do with multiple different styles of backs, man, because the size that doesn't really matter much anymore. The speed, you got to be able to get to the power line. But we got guys at 5'9" that could take it to the house. We got guys at 6'1.5", 6'2" that could take it to the house. Guys at 190, 200, guys at 230, 240, who can play at this level. So I think what Coach Gaddish and what this offense must do, in my opinion, is really show off the diversity and how we use our running backs this year. I've always been a running back by committee guy. Having a guy and the guy, I think it's a little bit old school in its approach. But we do look at a lot of these top tier programs, and all of them do have a guy. And then there's other guys who come in that can help you out. But Miami's always been a little different and unique in the way that they do things. So I'm hoping that in the grand scheme of things, we get about 3 or 4 guys, Mark, who are about 600 or 700 yards rushing each, as opposed to one guy who has like 1,200 and everybody else has like 120. I would prefer the former instead of the latter. I want to see it spread out. I want to keep a bunch of guys happy, a bunch of guys having 3 to 4 to 5 rushing touchdowns on the ground. I think that approach is the best way to keep young men happy, but secondly, also keep them in orange and green. Because if they all feel a part of the game plan, if they feel a part, whether it be, Knighton may not get a bunch of carries, but he's at punt return. And he's able to help us in that way, shape, form, or fashion. Maybe Chaney's running down on special teams, making tackles. Being able to use guys in multiple different facets and keep them happy in the orange, green, and white, that is what my mind is on. Because when it comes to dealing with what the NIL is presenting and also with what the transfer portal is presenting, there, as of right now, there is no limitations on either one of those two things. So if a young man doesn't feel happy week 2, he can hit the portal and be gone and be in someone else's colors by week 3 and playing on a whole different team with a whole different scheme, a whole different NIL deal. So we're hoping that we can hold on to these guys.